No, you really broke them this time. You didn't just beat them. You didn't just survive. You turned them psycho. Now look at them, standing in front of mirrors at 3 a.m., knives shaking in their hands, carving smiles into faces that forgot how to feel joy, not because of what you did to them, but because of what they did to themselves, trying to destroy you. They thought they erased you. They thought they buried you, but instead, they cracked themselves open and crawled inside the madness they built for you. That's the part they can't escape. They wanted to crush your spirit, grind you down, erase you from the story they rehearsed in their heads. They wanted you quiet, small, gone. Another cautionary tale they could laugh about later. But you didn't disappear. You thrived. And now they're trapped, looping thoughts, spiraling nights, replaying your name like a curse they can't unlearn. Psycho agony, mental purgatory, a storm they can't shut off because the source isn't external anymore. It's internal. They stare at you like you're a comet ripping through their dull, lifeless sky, bright, violent, impossible to ignore. You don't fit into their sanitized boxes of normal. You never did. And the fact that you refuse to pretend anymore is what shattered them. They live by scripts, tick, tock, birth, school, work, death. You tore the script in half and laughed. And now every time they look at you, they see everything they didn't have the courage to become. Every buried dream, every compromise, every moment they chose comfort over truth. You became their mirror. And mirrors are cruel when you've been lying to yourself your whole life. That's why they're obsessed. Not because you're dangerous, but because you're free. And freedom terrifies people who built their lives like cages and called it stability. At first, they told themselves it was nothing, just curiosity, just keeping an eye on you, just making sure you didn't get out of hand. But curiosity turned into fixation. Fixation turned into monitoring. Monitoring turned into sleepless nights and nervous habits they didn't even notice forming. They started checking your name the way addicts check their phones, refreshing, scrolling, watching for movement. Because here's the truth they won't admit. You didn't just survive them, you invalidated them. Every step you took forward rewrote their internal math. Every calm reaction shattered the outcome they rehearsed. You were supposed to spiral. You were supposed to lash out. You were supposed to disappear. Instead, you adjusted, and that's when paranoia set in. Now every success feels suspicious to them. Every silence feels strategic. Every smile feels like a warning. They don't know what you're planning, and that's the torture. They replay conversations from months ago, dissecting tone, eye contact, pauses, wondering if you already knew, wondering if you were always this far ahead, wondering when the other shoe is supposed to drop. Because people who operate on manipulation panic when they meet someone who doesn't react. You stopped feeding the system that kept them comfortable. You stopped flinching. You stopped explaining. And once you did that, the power shifted. Now they watch shadows, second-guess allies, question motives that never bothered them before. You didn't threaten them. You didn't confront them. You didn't even acknowledge the game anymore. And somehow, that scared them more than violence ever could, because unpredictability terrifies people who rely on control. You became the variable they can't solve, the silence they can't interpret, the calm that doesn't fit any of their models. So they imagine scenarios, invent intentions, project guilt. They start accusing you in their own heads of things you never even thought about. Because paranoia always confesses before it accuses. And the worst part, you didn't do anything. You just kept living. And that's what broke them. Here's where it stopped being about you. Because obsession always eats its owner first. They didn't just watch you anymore. They started competing with a version of you that only exists in their head. A phantom, a threat, a shadow they can't touch. And shadows drive people insane. They started making mistakes, slipping up, snapping at the wrong people, reading disrespect where none existed, because when someone can't control you, they start losing control of everything else. Their sleep broke first, then their patience, then their judgment. They told themselves you were lucky, then reckless, then dangerous. Each label louder than the last, because fear needs escalation to stay believable. But the truth? You didn't outplay them. They outplayed themselves trying to keep up with a game you already left. They set traps for you that they fell into, told lies they had to remember, moved pieces that exposed their own hands. You became the reason their mask started slipping in public, the reason people began noticing cracks they'd been hiding for years. And all you did was stay calm. That's what destroyed them. Because when someone expects chaos and meets composure, their internal narrative collapses. They need you to be volatile to justify their behavior. You refused to give them that permission, so they turned inward. Self-sabotage dressed up as strategy, overthinking disguised as intelligence, panic hidden behind forced smiles. They started ruining relationships you were never part of, burning bridges you never crossed, destroying credibility you never touched. You didn't have to expose them. Pressure exposes people automatically, and the pressure wasn't coming from you. It was coming from the image they built of you in their own heads. That's the most brutal part. They weren't losing to you. They were losing to the version of themselves they could no longer recognize. Meanwhile, you kept moving, quiet, unbothered, untouchable. And that contrast, that's what finished them. They threw knives. Every insult, every betrayal, every attempt to drag you back into the pit, and you didn't bleed. You caught them, midair. You sharpened them, reforged them, turned them into armor. That's when it broke them, because nothing enrages a hater more than watching their cruelty become your design. Now they pace, mentally trapped inside the hell they built for you. They replay your success like a horror film, your peace, your progress, your calm. They thought you'd be screaming in the fire. Instead, you danced. That's not survival. That's transcendence. They don't just dislike you, they're obsessed. You live rent-free in their minds while you've already moved on. Career built, home secured, peace achieved, and they can't escape the truth. They didn't break you, they built you. Here's the twist they'll never admit. They admire you. That's what eats them alive. Every knife they threw became proof they were never strong enough to do what you did. They avoided the fire. You walked through it. Now they're stuck in the cold, watching you glow. This isn't about proving anything to them anymore. That chapter is closed. This is about waking up every day knowing you're unshakable, you're undeniable, you're untouchable. While they plot, you build. While they obsess, you create. That's the difference. So let them watch. Let them talk. Let them stay awake at night replaying the moment they realized they aimed to destroy you and accidentally created a force. You turned every knife into a masterpiece, every attack into momentum, every ounce of hate into fuel. And that smile, that's the part they'll never forget. Like, comment, subscribe. Batman hates chaos he can't predict. That's why this bothers him.